You guys are saying sink the ship? Do you know how many times I've seen this meme? Oh,
we do not have the administration to deal with the Hanta virus. Like RFK Jr. is the Secretary of Health. Let that sink in.
Look, brother, this video is for the captain of that cruise ship with the Hanta virus. I've got a solution, captain. If you're watching this, grab this ship, take it to the Strait of Hormuz.
That cruise ship with that virus on, I just came across a video of a guy who's like trapped on the boat, and he's like, oh my God, get me off the boat. I'm healthy. And he's crying. He's like really scared. And I get that. I'd be terrified. And I'm like, oh God, I'm praying for him, but I'm gonna need you to stay on that boat.
And I'm gonna be real, this shit up to say, but we can't let them people on that cruise touch back on land. We can't. Y'all can't bring them here. Wherever y'all got that from, y'all need to take this right back. And before y'all put millions of people at risk, we'll let y'all ass die out there.
Okay, perfect. Now Switzerland has entered the chat. A confirmed case of the Andes strand of the Hanta virus is now on deck. And yes, he is from the cruise ship, the same ship that's basically turning into a floating case study. Now has passengers spreading this across countries. Now there has been 7 to 8 cases linked to this goddamn ship. At least 3 are confirmed and the others are still being investigated. And I want to be very serious with y'all. 3 people have already died. A Dutchman, his wife, and a German passenger. So this isn't just internet panic. This is real shit. And here's where the people are now. A British man is in critical condition in South Africa. A Swiss man is isolated in Switzerland after testing positive. And several others are still being monitored, but they're still on the ship. Now health officials says the risk is low and transmission needs close contact. They were on a boat together. Sorry. So here's a quick recap. This is internationally spreading. 3 people have died. And there's a human-to-human strain. But yeah, everything's under control. The world can't catch fucking.
you guys are saying sink the ship? Do you know how many times I've seen this meme? Oh, COVID really did a number on us because nobody's trying to go through that experience again. The mortality rate is like 30 to 50%. So like, I get it. We can't just, there has to be an alternative. Like they can't come back to land, but we can't just, you know? There are like 150 migrants, like 147 now. I propose we get a couple more ships. There's ship A, the patient zero ship, where we keep everyone that could have potentially had interaction with the ones that have been infected. Then ship B would be like, maybe we boarded on the same day as the sick ones. And then ship C would be like the ones that almost certainly had no contact with them whatsoever. We leave them out on these ships for like the next 3 months. We drop them supplies. You know what, actually, we'll check back in on Labor Day after our hot girl summer and see where things stand. But like, I don't think we can just, sink it. The people aboard. No.
We do not have the administration to deal with the Hanta virus. Like RFK Jr. is the Secretary of Health. Let that sink in. That's not good. Okay, and we have the World Cup coming up in just over a month, where millions of people around the world are going to be traveling and coming to our country. And right now, who is coming out saying that they could not find the rodent or the rat that transmitted the Hanta virus? Meaning they think it's now the Andes Hanta virus, which can be transmitted from human to human. There was a woman that was traveling on a plane back to South Africa. She had lost her husband to the Hanta virus. She started getting symptoms in the flight. She lands, gets in the airport, collapses, and loses her life the next day. There are people in that ship right now. There's an 8-week incubation period, meaning there's people that might be infected with this virus, but they don't even have symptoms yet. And like, I feel for every single person that's in that ship. I couldn't imagine being in a ship where people are losing their lives to some mysterious disease. But now they're going to the Canary Islands off of Spain. These people cannot get off this ship. Like, they cannot get off this ship. Like, the world is not ready for another pandemic, especially the United States with this administration.
Look, brother, this video is for the captain of that cruise ship with the Hanta virus outbreak, the all-new lethal virus, apparently. If you're not that captain, please keep scrolling. Captain, El Capitan, keep that ship sailing, brother. Stay out there, all right? Us land people don't want you docking anytime soon. Show the passengers all 7 of the seas, because you're going to be out there for a while, all right? They paid $20,000 per ticket. It'd be rude to cut their trip short. All right? Stay there till there's no more confirmed cases because we can't be stuffed with a new virus. These viruses are popping up like Pokemon cards. Someone always seems to find a new rare one all the time. This one comes from rodents, rats, and you get it by being exposed to rat piss or rat shit. They're making me spiral. I'm starting to sound like every racist person I've ever known. We don't want boat people in this country. Do you see what you're making me say? Oh, I know I sound selfish, but I don't give a rat's ass, pardon the pun. I don't want to have to fight grandmas in my local grocery store for toilet paper again. I don't want the mainstream media to spread misinformation quicker than this virus can spread. All right? But listen, I got a solution. Captain, if you're watching this, grab the ship, take it to the Strait of Hormuz. Get all the sick people at the front of the ship, have them cough in every direction. All those countries occupying it will leave, petrol prices will go down, the symptoms would have worn off, everyone wins. We can make history. We can make rat shit the solution to this war.
They're going to have to stay on that boat. They've already gotten off. There was a deadly Hanta virus outbreak on a cruise ship off the coast of Africa, and people are saying we got to quarantine that boat, and I need you all to understand people have already gotten off the boat. This was a cruise ship traveling from the coast of South America to the coast of Africa, and on that journey, they stopped on several islands where people got off the boat, they experienced excursions, and then they got back on the boat. They did not immediately realize that the virus outbreak on the cruise ship was the Hanta virus. And there's a lot of different reasons for this. One, Hanta virus is rare, but two, it originally presents like the flu. Fever, fatigue, body aches. And then people get pulmonary issues and they die. And generally, this virus is only transferred through rat droppings. But there is a case of it being transferred from human to human contact in Argentina. Guess where this boat originated? Argentina. So understandably, people are concerned about this cruise ship. But please understand, people have already gotten off the boat. And they're doing contact tracing with anyone who could have come into contact with this virus. But you should be hearing the saxophones playing right now. Because if this is the type of virus that spreads person to person through the air, we need to have lockdowns. And people need to be masking. And people need to be taking this seriously because Hanta virus is incredibly deadly. More deadly than COVID. And we could be in serious trouble. And I don't say that to fearmonger because we don't know what we're dealing with yet. But we could be dealing with something very serious.
As someone who is studying infectious diseases for their master's, here is my professional opinion about the Hanta virus outbreak on that ship. They need to blow it up. Like, not to be dramatic or anything, but they need to blow that up with everybody inside. Do not dock that boat. Do not dock that fucking boat. Oh my God.
Now, I'm going to say this shit because I don't give a fuck. Those people on that Hanta virus need to keep that on that goddamn ship. We don't need nobody vacating the fucking premises. You mean to tell me you about to let that goddamn ship dock in Spain? You ain't docking nowhere except for the Bermuda Triangle. I know it sounds heartless, but Ben went through 2020. And now that the World Health Organization is saying that that should possibly spread from person to person, and it likely involves a strain of Andes virus, keep they ass with a fucking at. Also saying the virus could spread within close quarters. But you on a fucking ship, you can't get more closer than that. Talk about shared room, bitch, sharing everything. And honestly, I don't give a fuck if it's a rare occasion. Coronavirus was deemed a rare occasion until they spread across the world, leaving people unable to leave their homes without wearing masks and gloves, having children learn from goddamn home, people working from home. One thing about the coronavirus was that the earth got to replenish itself. They trying to decide between the Andes and the Hanta virus. I don't give a fuck what virus it is. Leave it in where the fuck they at until everybody cured. People have already died. You got me fucked.
I hate to say it, but that cruise ship that got the Hanta virus, sorry to those people, but y'all may need to circle around the ocean until all that shit is cleared up. And even then, I want them transported in a sterile environment that does not touch land. I felt like that was nicer than saying nuke the ship. But no, in all seriousness, I hope those people get the help they need. But please, like, they're talking about a lockdown 2.0. Okay, that's going to be so horrible because we're we're just going to get locked down and we're just not going to have any money. At least during like the first lockdown with COVID, people were getting something. They've exhausted every dollar in time. So worst case scenario, we had the lockdown and still forced to go to work while sick and people are dying. Best case scenario, we stay home and we end up homeless because they're still going to charge us. I mean, it's just a lose fucking. But yeah, I don't even want to think about what the hantavirus can do to your body. I don't even want to think about that. And I'm pretty sure they've gotten rid of the CDC and all that type. So, I mean, it's just, yeah, I want that ship to stay at sea. I don't even want to think of the possibility of y'all stepping on land. Sorry.
Keep those people out at sea. It's already here. The hantavirus is here. You don't know it. I can't confirm it, but the higher-ups know. They're just not telling us. They're not telling you that it's already here. Right? Let's put this into perspective. 2 people or 3 people have died already from this virus, from said virus. 2 of which were transported to the hospital, not knowing what it was. 1 was dead, 1 was alive while being transported, right? Then they went to, 2 or 3 different ports before catching it, that it was a deadly virus. It's here. If it's not here yet, it's going to be. I hear so many people talk about, keep those people out at sea, keep those people out at sea, keep those people out at sea. Y'all better start talking about masking up. I told my wife today, I said, hey, there's going to be a time where we see this virus get out of hand. They're not going to be able to contain it. So since you work in the public, you need to be masking up and you need to be wearing your gloves. And I think that's the conversation that we all need to be having, right? Because we thought COVID was bad. I'm hearing that this is worse. So yeah, I think that we should keep those people contained out at sea. But if this airborne virus, this specific one, is as deadly as it is, and they've already gone to 2 or 3 different ports, before finding out, 2 people were transported by whatever, Uber, ambulance, and they did not know that this was a deadly virus, it is in here. Mask up.
I'm gonna go to hell when I say this, but keep those people on that boat. Keep them on that boat. I know it's inhumane, but I can't go through this again.
That cruise ship with that virus on, I just came across a video of a guy who's like trapped on the boat and he's like, oh my God, get me off the boat. I'm healthy. And he's crying. And he's like really scared. And I get that. I'd be terrified. And I'm like, oh God, I'm praying for him, but I'm gonna need you to stay on that boat. I'm gonna need you to stay on that, okay? Not trying to be insensitive, not trying to be unempathetic or anything like that, but the last time that there was a virus and Trump was in office, it didn't bode well for any of us. So I'd be scared too, and I know that you think you're healthy, but stay on that boat. Okay? Don't be going anywhere. I'm gonna go wash my hands now.
Okay, I have a third Hanta Virus cruise ship update for today, Tuesday, May 5th. I'm sorry guys, so much information is coming out. We all know by now that the ship is going to the Canary Islands. Spain gave the okay for the ship to dock somewhere, we don't know exactly where. It takes 3 days for the ship to get there. They're gonna allow medical staff on the ship to clean it, to investigate. They're negotiating whether or not people will be allowed off quarantines. If it's gonna happen, we don't know yet. But that is not the update. The update is this. The WHO has confirmed that it has now started contact tracing investigations of the flight that the wife of the old man, the 70-year-old man that passed away, she took a flight from St. Helena to Johannesburg Airport. That was a commercial flight. It was not a medical evacuation flight. So she was sick on that flight. She left on her own. She wasn't told to leave. She was escorting her husband's body home to the Netherlands. So she and her husband's body flew from St. Helena to Johannesburg, and then Johannesburg to the Netherlands was the plan. She collapses at the airport in Johannesburg. She's taken to the hospital. Hours later, I think it's the next day, she dies. No one knows that this couple has Hanta virus at this time. Officials in South Africa don't test her or her husband. They test the British man who shows up a couple days later at their hospital. And then on May 2nd, they get a positive test result for Hanta virus. So you see the issue is here, the woman that traveled on this commercial flight, very likely, she had no medical escort with her. She had no escort with her. We don't know if on her own she chose to wear any type of PPE or something like that. I would say probably she didn't. And so now they're contact tracing every single person on that flight because they believe this is the person-to-person strain, the Andes virus. We don't have the official yes from the genetic sequencing, but they would not be doing contact tracing of an entire flight if they didn't think that that was a possibility. I pray for anyone that was sitting next to that woman. It is a 5 to 6 hour flight. I looked it up. Other updates really quick. They are currently in the process of evacuating 2 people that are sick off of the ship. They're working with Dutch authorities to do that. They are thinking about evacuating a person who had some type of close contact to one of the people on board that died. I believe it's the German woman. Her body is still on the ship. The German woman passed away on the ship, and it hasn't been allowed to be let off the ship. So it's somebody that has close contact with her. They're thinking about evacuating that person too. It's not clear if that person is sick, symptomatic, or not. The information is, you get bits and pieces and you kind of have to put the puzzle together. That's it for right now. I'm not going to be updating myself any longer until tomorrow because it just keeps getting worse and worse.
Hey, Sister Cat. I don't know if you know, but I just found out there is currently a cruise ship in the middle of the ocean. I believe it's from Argentina that is carrying passengers that have something called the Hanta Virus, which is basically the fuck egg. And this virus has allegedly already 2 to 3 people aboard said cruise. And now they're trying to decide what they want to do with the passengers aboard said cruise ship. And I would just like to offer a few suggestions. The first one being nuke it. Blow that immediately. What the fuck you're trying to decide what to do? Y'all can make anything else disappear. Make that boat disappear. And if that's a little bit too extreme, you can always drop an iceberg in the middle of that boat's path and let nature in the ocean decide its fate. Like that's an easy option. You've already done it before. History can always repeat itself. Like there are so many options to choose from aside from letting that boat dock and letting those passengers deboard and go off into their respective countries and not know whether or not they have said virus. Summer is around the motherfucking corner. We barely made it through Corona. Before we make that decision, let's go over all the options. Maybe possibly finding a cure while they're on the boat. Airdrop or Bluetooth some fucking scientists onto the boat. I don't know. Figure it fuck out.
This lady says it's a tricky situation. It's not a tricky situation. You take your ugly ass on that boat and you test people, and if they test positive, you quarantine them, okay? You treat them until they're well. When they're well, you move them into a third area for people who have contracted it and been treated and gotten over it. You keep doing that until everyone is negative. And don't come off the boat until you've gone 14 days without having any cases, new cases. That's it. It's not tricky. Yeah. Y'all saw Contagion? Ain't it right, boy? Ain't it right, Neil? They saw Contagion, didn't they? Didn't they see it? They saw it.
And I'm gonna be real, this shit feel to say, but we can't let them people on that cruise touch back on land. We can't. Y'all can't bring that shit here. Wherever y'all got that shit from, y'all need to take this shit right back. And before y'all put millions of people at risk, we'll let y'all ass die out there and see. Fuck that, it's fuck to say, but hell nah. Y'all seen what the coronavirus did. Y'all think we finna let y'all bring a new strain of shit? Hell nah, y'all gonna die with that shit. See, unless they find a cure to this shit. And I ain't never been on a cruise, but this shit just kind of fucked me up. Got me thinking, do I even want to go on a cruise now? Because you got muggers popping up with new viruses and shit. Y'all just getting the fun up for everybody, but nah. Keep that fucking shit at sea. Keep that sick ass virus out there. Don't bring that shit home.
Well, for the people who kept saying that we were going to have another timeline, switch, merge, shift, 2026, 2027, you may have been on to something and you may have ate with that. Because listen, I was just listening to a girl's video who's in public health, who's in the public health field, right? And she was just talking about how underpaid, understaffed, underfunded, barely funded the CDC and the WHO and all of our health administrations that deal with diseases are, due to the Trump administration defunding them. She said if this strain of Hanta virus is the human-to-human contact kind, that it's going to make COVID in 2020 look like a day at the fuck beach. A day at Chuck E. Cheese. And you know what happens with that? A lot of death. And what happens with a lot of death? At once, all at the same time, destabilization of the timeline. So what happens? A collapse, an incursion. And why does that happen? Because a whole bunch of people who were supposed to go on and make big changes and do big things in the grand scheme die.
So yeah, let's hope it's better this.
Well, and welcome to another day in the United States of unnecessary war place, the PO elites running things, and a reanimated corpse trying to direct our health care. Meanwhile, the Hanta virus is spreading a little bit of everywhere. There's now a case in Switzerland. There's now a case in France, too. And I also want to enlighten you to the fact that the reanimated corpse dude, RFK Jr., did something you're never supposed to do, and then he bragged about it and took a picture, too, at an airport, boo. He says he rescued a starling, a bird. Now, bird lady here, God, I know way too much about birds, so let me inform you. You're never supposed to put your hands on a wild bird. And you want to know why? Well, viruses and germs. That's why. You're never supposed to put your hand on a wild bird, even if they're well and they look okay. You don't know what may be in their feathers that'll make you fucking sick today. So we've got RFK Jr. at the airport grabbing wild birds, claiming he's rescuing them. And honey, this goes all through my thick skin. White people in the US of A always trying to claim that they're rescuing animals, okay? I'm so tired of it, baby. I'm so very tired of it. Leave wildlife alone. As a matter of fact, just yesterday, a report came out from Yellowstone. 2 men were attacked by a bear. Stay the away from wildlife. Oh, and just as a point of fact today, you can look it up because it's absolutely true. Bears have rarely ever attacked women. It's mostly men. I mean, there was that fatal accident, I think, in 2023 in California where a bear killed a woman, honey. But usually it's men. And you might think because men are out in the woods more than women, but I suggest you look into some statistics on this because there's a whole lot of women that take their Subarus into the woods, boo. Stop touching wild animals, okay? You're not Steve and Irwin. Stop it. But to have RFK at the airport touching wild birds, and then God knows what else he touched after that probably some commuters touched too. You don't know if that starling had the flu. You don't know. You don't know. I hope it gave him mites, and I hope they eat his up all goddamn night, honey. But just know, it's summertime, and the army does not give a fuck that diseases are on the flow. We learned that during the flu-pocalypse when he dropped the goddamn ball and we lost 1 million Americans. Yeah. And not to mention the fact that the reanimated corpse thought it'd be a good idea to remove the US of A from who? The World Health Organization. Fuck. Stay indoors. You don't need to go on vacation, honey. Save your money because you're going to need it during the destruction of this nation. It's time to order more face mask. This dumb ass.
Y'all are about to get so mad at me, and I know I don't post like this. I usually would post on my other page, but like, truthfully, sink the ship. Sink the ship, okay? The last time that we had a virus that was killing people on a boat, y'all released these people under the assumption that it was no human-to-human transmission, and we ended up with COVID. So, I mean this from the bottom of my heart. Have them people do a virtual call with the Pope, read them their last rites, and sink that ship. I don't care. I don't care. Of course, it was a luxury cruise ship that had to get oh my God, sink the ship. Just sink it.
I feel so bad for everyone who was on that cruise ship with the Hanta virus, but I pray for the love of God, do not let them dock. I feel terrible for them, but it's a disease that has a 35% fatality rate and there's no specific treatment for it either. I'm not trying to fearmonger, but a 35% fatality rate is absurd, alright? For context, smallpox, which we all know how deadly that was, the fatality rate of that was only 30%. I understand Hanta virus is much harder to transmit, but it is still very dangerous. And also, symptoms can take up to 8 weeks to show. And I understand, how it can be transmitted. They say it's not through human-human contact and it's by rodents, but even still, we cannot be taking a risk right now. And I really do feel awful for all the people on that cruise ship, because I saw the one guy's video where he was like, I just want to get home to my family, like, this sucks, and he was crying, and like, I get that. But also, you actually shouldn't want to get home to your family, because if you spread it to them, if you're infected and you don't even know it, like, there's just so many bad things that can happen. I feel like it would be a lot different if it was a disease that actually had a specific cure and like it wasn't as fatal as it is, because a 35% fatality rate is very high. And this is an extreme, but I really don't even want the risk of a pandemic or an epidemic, so I need them to just stay on the damn shit.
And what do you mean Spain is letting them dock? I thought we all agreed as a society to let them stay in the boat. There's how many confirmed and how is it contracted? And you mean to tell me more than one person has already died? That's not enough for you guys to be like, oh, let's leave them on the boat? It's been a while since I've seen all of us come together as a society. It's been a while. It's been a while. But every single person I've seen on my For You page has said the same thing. Leave them on the phone. And we truly don't even know what the fuck we're dealing with. We don't even know how the fuck it was contracted. We don't even know who case subject 0 is yet. And I'm not gonna lie, I hate to be this person, but if Spain is gonna let them dock, Spain needs to deal with them and not let them come back to the US until we fully understand what the fuck is going on. And I don't know, it might just be me, but I feel like 8 weeks is not enough. 8-week quarantine, I don't think that's enough. And then if they're going to be quarantined, are they going to be in contact with anybody? I already saw that there was a nurse that got on the boat and then got off the boat. I understand that is a nurse's job, but what's going to happen with her? And I'm not going to lie, I feel like you guys aren't taking this serious. I feel like you guys aren't taking the right precaution. I feel like you guys want another pandemic, and I'm going to tell you right now, under this administration, we can't afford it.
Nope. Do not dock it. Stay quarantined. Burn the ship. Not one person is looking at this headline thinking, oh, this is going to turn out well. This will be okay, because it won't be. It never is. They're going to let these people dock, and it's going to spread, and then we're going to be in another pandemic situation, all because of a fucking cruise ship. 20 years ago, I worked at a place where a woman went on a cruise just like this, and she came back so effing sick, she polluted the entire office to the tune of 150 people ended up calling in the very next day because it spread so fast and so violently. They closed the office for the rest of the week because they had to fumigate it because they couldn't allow anybody to keep coming back and getting sick. It was really bad. It was like being on the goddamn ship, and I didn't even get to go on a cruise. I just got to be sick. I will never understand why people find going on a cruise to be so enjoyable, because so many people come back ill or spend their vacation on a boat ill. That sounds like pure torture to me. Just remember, when everything with COVID started, they said everything was going to be fine. It was not fine. And they're saying the same thing again with this fucking boat.
Y'all, so I see people talking about they want to come home and they got the Hanta virus on that damn cruise ship. They gonna stay on that boat because we don't want a virus. Like, y'all not getting off that boat. We don't care. We already voted no. We're not doing that. We're not doing all of that extra shit because I'm not trying to get no coronavirus part 2. We don't got time for that. I don't want Ebola. I don't want monkeypox. I don't want none of that shit. I don't even know what Hanta virus is. I seen that it kill people, but I don't want it more. So y'all need to deal with it. Lock them doors up. Board the boards up. The windows up. Do what y'all got to do. Stay in your whole cruise rooms and have a ball in there. Drink y'all drink package, do whatever y'all need to do, but don't come over here with that. We don't want it in America. I think it's in like Venezuela or whatever the fuck. Y'all better stay over there. We don't want it. Nobody told y'all to take y'all ass over there in the first place, but I hope everybody is well on that boat. But like I said, don't come back until that shit is gone. We don't want a virus. So stay over there. This is a warning. I don't give a fuck. The people already voted no. So stay on that boat. We are not like, think of it as an extended trip. You know what I mean? They shouldn't charge y'all more. Y'all should stay on that trip as long as y'all can. Make it a 30-day trip if y'all got to. Shit, a year trip. As long as that shit stay on the boat and it's gone off the boat, fly people in, do whatever the fuck y'all need to do, but don't bring that shit to America. We don't want a virus at the fuck all.
I had to double check this because it seemed too stupid to be true. But guess what the last country to leave the WHO was in March of this year? Argentina. Their dictator Milei was following in the footsteps of our dictator. And guess where the Hanta virus cruise ship was coming from? And now the WHO is trying to contact trace people who were on that cruise, and it's without the full cooperation of Argentina.
Well, you can't just be insensitive to the people on the boat, on the cruise ship. I mean, not everyone has the Hanta virus, and the one guy just wants to come home. No. Absolutely not. See, the insensitivity is that this guy is pleading and crying and stuttering and doing the whole thing because he wants to come home, but he's one person and he is being insensitive to the rest of us. Okay. Yes, we know he wants to come home. Yes, we get it. But the thing is, no, we need you to stay on the boat because as soon as you come home, right, every single person that you come in contact with, attempted murder, because you don't know what's going to happen to them, how they're going to be affected, what's going to happen, how they're going to take that shit home to their families. You guys already know this shit though. You already know this shit because of that other virus and everything was explained to you how it works. Remember? You want to do it the fuck again with the same administration. I don't understand what y'all don't understand about this. I feel bad, yes, because I'm sick of the bullshit with cruise ships. Every time we turn around, it's a fucking cruise ship doing something. The poop cruise, Amy Bradley, like every time we turn around, if something happens in international waters, there's nothing we could do. It's enough. But till we get there and eradicate cruise ships altogether, we got to do what we got to do. There's 7 people infected. None of them can come home.
I feel kind of bad for those people on that cruise ship with the Hanta virus because I'm sorry, that's just where y'all live now. We actually can't risk you guys coming back into society. We don't have the people in charge and the things in place to handle another pandemic, another panoramic, another Panama, another panhandle, another Pandulce, another planetary. That ain't gonna work. But you get what I'm saying. And I understand it's a big ask. It's a huge ask, honestly, to ask someone to give up their lives as they know it. But for the fate of the world, the universe, and for the good of everyone, I just need y'all to hang tight for the foreseeable future. And I understand you may not want to live out the rest of your life on a cruise ship in the middle of the ocean. So maybe, if you don't want to do that, maybe y'all could just find an iceberg and that'll.
So it seems like we know all about that little Hanta virus, right? But it seems like to me that y'all are not asking the right questions. Because at first, it is able to be transmitted through rats, rodents, or whatever, and then dealing with the pee and feces or whatever. Now, all of a sudden, that shit done upgraded to airborne. But the question on the goddamn table is this. Who and how in the fuck did some infested ass rats get on a boat? Now, they're supposed to be some cruise ship or something. Now, you're supposed to make sure that cruise ship is clean or whatever. How the fuck some rats get on that goddamn boat? And then y'all talking about y'all found somewhere to dock that motherfucker. Y'all better dock that blanket. And then they were saying that it started with a wife and a husband. But really it started with the husband. The husband contracted, then he died. Then the wife, they gave the body to the wife. Then the wife was on a goddamn international plane. If it's supposed to be airborne. Then on top of that, she passing out and dying in airports and shit. Airborne. And y'all think it ain't gonna be over here soon? I promise y'all. At the rate that shit is going, and who in the fuck we got in that goddamn office, it's finna be COVID all over again. It's gonna make its way over here some fucking way. Cause watch and see. Report back here and watch and see. And I want to say within a few weeks to about a couple of months, it's gonna be its first case over here, and watch see what.
I'm back. Listen, I think at this point we can all agree that that ship needs to sink. They need to let that ship go down. Collateral damage, and I think they need to take one for the team, right? And by the team, I mean the world. Tatahashi swimming with the fishes.
I don't even think that cruise ship should dock. They cannot leave that ship. They can't get off that ship. I'm sorry, y'all gotta stay in the middle of the ocean. Buddy talking about, I just want to come home. I'm so scared. I feel it, brother. I feel it, but not like there's no way they can just casually reintegrate back into society, right? Like we literally cannot have a part 2. There has to be extensive testing and extensive quarantine done. Like one person dying is like 2 people dying, that's a pattern. 3 people dying, lock that bitch down. No one comes in or out until we figure out what the source is and what is going on. because we cannot have a part two. We mentally aren't even prepared for a part two. Everybody talking about, oh, another lockdown, another lockdown with a virus though that's outside. You're not mentally prepared for that. You're not. Not to mention the economy. Oh God, oh God, they got to stay on that ship. Matter of fact, stay in the middle of the ocean. We gonna fly people to y'all. Stay put. Stay put.
This may be pattern recognition or this may be my tinfoil hat coming in, but the last time Trump was president, it was a bunch of people on a boat and they caught COVID. Hella people died. Lockdown. What's happening? Trump's president again. Bunch of people on a boat. People getting sick. 3 people have already died. Uncurable. Don't have nothing to prevent it. I don't give a fuck if it can't spread. They've already gotten permission to dock. They don't know if they're going to let the people off the boat yet, but docking is already enough. They talking about sending people in to clean the boat. Keep them on the boat if they go in. Keep them in there. Because no, you're not allowed to get off the boat once you go.
Hey, listen, y'all keep telling me scientists said and doctors said and said don't freak out, this isn't that serious. They said the same thing in 2019. By 2020, we was in a lockdown. I'm not playing with you niggas. I'm not trying to hear that. I'm not trying to have a conversation. I'm not even trying to fearmonger. I'm just telling people what information is out there. And then my personal opinion is this: don't fucking touch me. Y'all are tripping. Y'all, this is the same. I'm watching this shit happen in real time. I've had so many people comment saying, doctor said don't freak out. You have to be, it's an incubation period for a long time. I'm not trying to hear that shit, bro. That shit tore the hood up. Y'all sitting here playing with people like, I don't care about none of that. Me personally, and this is a personal opinion, I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. A doctor could tell me tomorrow that shit is not transferable by coughing and shit. I'd still be like, mask up. See, I ain't finna play with you. I was in the military during COVID at the beginning. So I was around a lot of these motherfuckers who were like, this shit isn't real. This shit, I caught COVID twice. I'm not trying to hear that. I'm not trying to hear that. They were putting bodies in fucking cooling trucks. No. Fuck no. 2 cases were found in South Africa, which is human to human. I'm not playing with these people, bro.
If y'all let these people off that boat and ruin summer for me, things will not go well.
Hello everyone, I hope that you are doing fantastic from wherever part of the world you're watching me from. So currently, there is news you've actually heard on what's going on, what's trending for you to reach here. The Hanta virus is here with us. The pandemic is here and people are scared. Panic attacks, anxiety attacks. People are scared because they remember the trauma that the COVID-19 gave them. And for those who lost lives, they're also scared. For those who lost jobs, for those who are far away from their loved ones, literally it brought about so many challenges that if another virus is about to set, people are like, no, this will not get me off guard, while others are like, relax, it's gonna not happen because we are more than ready. I don't know what you think about this. How prepared are you? Or what do you think the government is going to do about it to keep you safe? And some of the incidents that we remember from the COVID period is how people were bulk buying. Politicians were talking here and there and arguing on television on what this started, who started this, this and this and this. There was a lot of confusion at the same time, and people were very much stressed. There's a lot of mental health issues at that time that arose because people could not talk to each other and they needed that connection. And everybody became an expert, disease expert analysis. They could be doctors who just learned new information from X, new information from Instagram, and any discussion about the pandemic or just the virus, people would be like, this, as if they are actually professionals. So those are some of the things that make people sit down and realize that, wow, so another one is about to hit us. And we all need to understand one thing. Hunter virus is real. It's not a zombie apocalypse, sorry. It is real. It's here. It's real. So we need to take care of ourselves. The virus is mainly linked to rodents, especially mice. Yes, you had that right. Mice. And people can get sick when they are in contact with the urine, saliva, or droppings of the deer mice. So you get to question yourself, how did these people acquire it? But anyway, never say never, apparently, because at this point they're also wondering the same thing. So what do you think happened on that cruise ship? So when you're a farm girl, you're a farm person, please watch out for those sheds. Put on some gloves, put on some gumboots, because when you get in contact with the urine or the droppings, you are in high chances of getting it. And now health experts are actually confirming that the virus is also on the cruise ship that we've all seen and know. And also the health experts are saying that public getting it is very low. Current public risk is very low. So the only information we have about the Hanta virus is just about this cruise ship that is a point of concern, right? And the comment section, oh my god, people are not considerate. Some are saying just sink the boat, the heart will go on. You know that song related to the Titanic. Some are asking, why is the iceberg not there when we need it? Come on, guys. Sometimes let's try and be kind. And you know why most people are actually giving out these comments? Because COVID pushed people to the wall. COVID gave people a lot of challenges that they never thought they would overcome. Some slept hungry because they couldn't get deliveries. It gave people many skills since a lot was being done online, and just learned how to respect leadership authorities and just learn how to communicate amongst each other even during family meetings on Zoom calls. Who remembers those? My beautiful viewers, all I can say is we need to keep safe. We need to be there for each other. We need also to have rodent control and just maintain cleanliness, because we've understood that the Hunter virus is gotten through the deer mice. So we should hopefully just try avoid areas that you might think the mice might be there, might be infested. And another thing, people feel like they're not ready for another press conference whereby the leaders are going to stand and take to us and tell us there's going to be a curfew, there's going to be, no this and this and this, all because of a virus you don't know even where it came from. And even your neighbors are going to become scientists in case this has been announced. They're going to have more information from YouTube, even more than you, who might be a doctor or a scientist. So, guys, let's take care of ourselves. And this situation, when you hear how Black Americans are reacting to it, it's crazy. I told you that X was the home of Black Americans, and they roast each other. When you look at all of this, you'll realize that there's a pattern. Which pattern am I talking about? These pandemics literally start from the white people area. Majority of these pandemics that wipe out the whole continent. I mean, what do you think I should say from here? Because it is questionable. Anyway, I'm just trying to understand. They're on a cruise ship. Okay. Anyway, guys, talk to me in the comment section. Tell me what you think. And as you can see, the whole world is watching. Everybody is in panic mode, and anxiety is kicking hard. Because, like I say, You remember COVID pretty well. You knew, I'm sure, one way or another, it affected you, whether you're in Africa or not. This was a pandemic for every continent. People died. So when somebody is talking about another virus, a new one, you get to wonder, how do they even arise? Initially, when during the pre-colonial period, or literally during those days, there are so many mice. Is it in the United Kingdom? But have you ever heard of? No. Anyway, a lot has been happening. Let us just remember to stay safe. Let's avoid any mice. And if you're infected, please take care of yourself. Isolate yourself. Do not travel. Don't travel. Why are you going everywhere? And things are just tough. Let me be sympathetic, because at this point, a lot is going on. Take care of yourself and talk to me what your opinions are about this situation. Bye.